Look at these glass candlesticks. Now, aren't they lovely? Are they Heisey or are they not? Am I gonna buy them or am I not? You'll find out. You'll find out.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the chilly, rainy, old Northeast. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop here in beautiful southern New Jersey, just about a mile from the Delaware River and right across from the city of Philadelphia. I'm headed out thrifting today. But let me tell you in advance, this video is going to be long and rambling. It's just kind of designed to give you something to watch or throw darts at the TV screen or fast forward. It's probably going to be more than a half an hour long, and you know what? I'm going to have footage from several different days. But we're going to walk around thrift shops here in the southern New Jersey, Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania area. Hopefully I'm going to find some lovely, unique items from the turn of the century or even just before into the Victorian era, up into the 1950s, the early 1950s. And well, I'm sure I'll sit here on the front seat and show you what I've purchased, and maybe you will spy some things that you remember from your grandparents' house. Or your parents' house, depending on how old you are. So let's just get this party started. Thank you for joining me. Well, there's some nice crackle glass. That one is $3.99. I don't see any damage on that. Ooh, that one's cracked. See that big crack there? And there's a nice big one. Pretty color. I don't see any damage on that. Although it's hard to tell because it's covered in cracks. That one's $6. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would pay $10 if I wanted to buy just these two pieces. Now there's a little bit of profit in there, but there isn't much. Hi, Cruet. You're missing your stopper, if you did but know it. All right, stop being clever, because Cruet and know it doesn't rhyme. Oh, there's blue onion down there, and there's a piece of luster that is not rare, but it's one that I have don't come into contact very often. There's your Anchor Hocking 3-part divided, $6. Again, no great amount of value there, but maybe I'm going to put it in here because I'll tell you why later. I might be interested in that. Look at these $4.99 little berry bowls. No mark on the bottom, but they're $5. Those are okay. Those are kind of pretty. I don't see any chips. I don't know. It's decals. Let's think about that. What do you notice? Have you noticed that things are a lot brighter? Well, I don't know if it's a Jersey thing, but they're going around to all of the Goodwills and putting in new overhead lighting, which is super fantastic. Now if they'll just turn the music down. Yes, it's not just happening in one location. 3 of the locations that I've been to recently in New Jersey have all had their lights replaced. So that's a good thing. Okay, we've got some things here to take a look at in the cart. We'll look at that when we get outside. And look, I found a second peach luster. I'm going to buy both of them. I'll tell you why out in the truck. Okay, very good. Back in the truck now. Not 1, but 2. Yes, you can find these pretty readily. They're made by Anchor Hocking in the 1950s and referred to as peach luster. So, you know, 2 is always better than 1, and I'm putting together a small collection of this. I've got several pieces of it at home, mugs and other serving pieces. maybe to hold on to, maybe to sell next autumn season for someone who wants to do some 1950s serving. And then, look at this. You didn't see it, but let's take a look at it. It is Bavarian porcelain, and it's a very high quality cream and sugar, silver plated. Look at that. Just marked Bavaria on the bottom. And we've got some beautiful flowers on there. Let's take a look at the covered sugar bowl. This cream and sugar coming up in a live sale, probably. Yes, indeed. That is lovely. Isn't that nice? See there? I'm always careful. One time. You know what I did with it? Was it a sugar? It was a salt and pepper shaker. It was a pepper shaker. Turned it upside down. Something fell off. I had pepper all over my pants for days. Now, Murder at the Vicarage. This was 99 cents. Of course, I've seen Joan Hickson happens to be my favorite Miss Marple. Although I got to go back and tip my hat to Margaret Hamilton. That's a whole different portrayal, but I like hers very much. Anyway, of course I've seen the movie, but it's chilly, rainy, and it would be nice tonight to turn down the lights. Well, I have to have something on so I can read, but we're going to have Murder at the Vicarage. I don't know if it was from a Joan Hickson version. One of my favorite lines, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Miss Marple was having sherry in the morning somewhere, I think with her friend Maud. And this strange little character named Mr. Pie said to Miss Marple, Miss Marple, would you like another sherry? And she said, oh no, Mr. Pie, how on earth shall I face the vicar at luncheon? Must have been a tough day at St. Mary Mead if they're drinking sherry before lunch, but I don't know. Maybe that's what you do. Now, I'm happy about this and I am mad about this. You know what I'm happy about? 1930s chrome. We have a butterscotch Bakelite handle. Farber Brothers, chrome craft. Thrilled about that. What I'm not happy about is they stuck this dumb plate in there. Now, when I say they, it was manufactured like this, and it's a pretty plate. But we have an argument going on between the dumpy, frumpy, old-fashioned. There's nothing exciting about that plate at all. I mean, it's okay, but it's just some plate with a transfer. Very traditional, with the Art Deco chrome and the Bakelite handle, and you can see on the back it says, of course, Chrome Craft Farber Brothers. They did stick other plates in here. I'm trying to think of some of the names of the patterns, and they're not coming to my mind. Way deco, much more modern than that. You can't really get that out of there. It's factory sealed, it's all the metal is all folded over. I'd love to take that plate out of there and stick something Art Deco inside. But we'll clean it up, sell it as is. Someone will still enjoy it, even though we have, you know what? We have Miss Marple competing with Hercule Poirot, don't we? He was all about the modern deco, and she was all lace and antimacassars and St. Mary Mead. Anyway, okay, let's hit the pike. We've got a few more shops to go to. Well, that's charming. Look at this. What appears to be a sewing box. Probably, the 50s or the 60s. Painted in yellow. Look at that nice old decal on the top. Now, of course, the tricky thing is going to be getting this tape off without damaging it. Oh, how nice. So there's for your spools. Ooh, there's a rogue needle down inside of there. And there's the decal inside. And here's even the little missing spindle. We can put that right back in. Oh, how nice. Look here. It says Princess, Algonquin, Illinois. There's a patent office and maybe a patent number. So it's looking very sort of 1945 to 1965, something like that. Okay, that's going to go in the cart because it's in really good shape and it's charming. That's going to wind up in someone's home. There's another sewing basket, not anywhere near as old as this one, so very nice. I'm going to have to take a closer look, but these appear to be something from the 1930s or 40s. We have these beautiful stems, and they have enamel painted flowers, and you can see this trim around the top. There's a little band here, and pink flowers and green leaves, pink and yellow flowers. And I guess these would be little, I guess they're little cordial stems. I don't know, or they could be for, well, you know what, who cares? These days, you can put whatever you'd like in there, but they were probably meant, I guess, for that. Not really difficult to see, but you can just, yeah, I think so. $3.99. There's only 4 of them, but that would be nice, I think, for Easter brunch. I guess I have Easter on my mind. We'll put these over here next to the sewing basket, and then I'll take a closer look before I exit the store. But they do look like they're from the 1930s. Okay, or 40s, 30s, 40s, something like that. Here we have some little clear glass sherbets. I'm just curious to see if these are marked on the bottom, and I am not necessarily seeing anything. Okay. You do get a different view when you get down here on the floor. Let's get back up and we'll keep moving down the line. Okay, I do see, and I'm sure I'm not going to buy these. There's only 3 of them anyway. Yes, and that's not anything super fantastic. Back down here. These are some various little shot glasses. No. And of course, you're always going to find a tremendous amount of anchor hocking, Wexford, and early American press cut. You're going to see that every time you go in the stores. Let's turn around. Okay, over here, where they have the plates and things. Let's take a look, just for fun, not in any big rush. Those are pretty, no mark. Not seeing anything from my era. All right, those are nice. Look at this. Now, this is not where I got my restaurant wear, but here's some more of it that might have come from another. That's $8.99 just for those. Let's see. And looky there. Those are Warwick. Made in USA. Warwick. Would that be Rhode Island? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Okay, nothing here. Silver anniversary. 25 years. Hello, 1980s. Right? Early 90s. Let's go see if they have any nice lamps. Woo, what a day. Not just is it chilly and damp, but this is a heavy driving rain, and it is windy too. Okay, there is the sewing box, and I managed to get that nasty tape off without damaging the decal on the top. And excellent. Okay, now, you know what? This was the surprise. On the shelf, I did go ahead and buy these. Let's pull one out. Let's just pull one out of here. Okay. Hold on, everybody. All right. There's one. And we can see now, very nice. The enamel paint, that's all done in the factory. Yeah. So we're probably sort of the mid-30s into the mid-40s here on this. Maybe even just after the war. But it's old. And there are only 4 of these. As I was in the checkout lane, they do this often on, of course, on the tops of the racks where they have the clothing. They'll just put random things. Well, it got separated, but there on the counter, as I was checking out, there's the matching decanter. Wow. Now, I do not expect to find any mark on the bottom of this, and I may not, while I'm sitting here, I might not be able to get this sticker off. And I'm sure you got better things to do than sit here, than to watch me out here in the rain trying to get this. There's not going to be anything on the bottom of that. Anyway, we'll have to wait until we get it home and get it cleaned up. There is the little liquor decanter with a stopper, and you can see we have 4 matching. There were probably 6 or 8. Oh well, we've got 4 left, but at least it's an even number. There we go. So speaking of Miss Marple and her sherry, now we can do a reenactment. Yeah. We'll save that for another day. Nice quality glass too. Very nice quality glass. Of course, it's soaking wet and it hasn't been washed since probably since FDR was in the White House. And then one more thing. It's been a good day, you know, not a Tiffany lamp day, but you know, pink pinky stink, and etched, or is it engraved? Yeah, an engraved pink center handle tidbit tray from the Depression era. Okay, now I will go ahead and tell you this. I said Margaret Hamilton, and of course I meant Margaret Rutherford, so there's that correction. There's always this thing that when you turn on the camera and it's not scripted and your mouth just starts going, "Ugh," you just say things that you know. It's like, isn't this, for instance, I might hold this and say, isn't this a lovely pink sewing basket? Well, obviously I know the difference between pink and yellow, but sometimes it's weird. You just try filming yourself and talking, and then watch it and see all the ridiculous things that you say. Now we're going to go to some footage that was done yesterday before the rain, and some more this and that shopping, and then we'll bring it all to an end. Now that's an old waffle iron. $24. Ugh. I'm not paying that much. Ooh, and it's so cruddy it sticks together. Ugh. Of course, it can be cleaned. But, yeah. No, I can find one cheaper than that. Wooden handles. It's nice, and it probably still works. These things are built like, you know, tanks. But that's a lot of scrubbing. I don't know. I spend enough time in the kitchen sink. I think we'll say bye-bye for the waffle iron. Anyway, and this isn't an old one. That's plastic. Now let me see here. We're looking at the old appliances, little kitchen appliances. There's a General Electric. Not too old on that. There's some various blenders. Well, folks, I'm in my first thrift store of the day, and I have got stuff in my cart. I'm going to show you that when we get out into the truck. But for the moment, I'm going to continue browsing these shelves. Look at that frog. He's a little more modern than what I would typically deal in, so we'll just ribbit on by. Yeah, let's see if we can see what's around this corner here. And wow, look at this. My word, they have changed their display. I am impressed. They've got these racks, and look at how they've got the muffin tins. They are really remodeling this store. Now here's an old tin. Let's take a look at it and see what it might say. It says Echo and Chicago. Is that what it says? Wait a minute. Urco? 8 Chicago, something like that. Anyway, that's $5. I think I'll just kind of leave that there. I don't see anything too antique-y. Wait a minute, here's an old timer. I think, let's get down here and see if this is, are these, get them out of there. Come here to me. Okay, Bake King. Bake King, King of Bakeware, made in the USA. I haven't seen those before. Maybe it's because they're so beautifully displayed, right? You can see what they've got. I like that. And look, from the 1930s, boy, this was a popular pattern. This cattail, I think this is, I can't remember who did this, but I think maybe you bought this from Sears. Is it Universal Cambridge? Okay, so there's one dinner plate that has a chip. There's a platter. That's got quite a bit of wear on it. There's the casserole dish. Quite a bit of wear and a lot of staining on the sides. Just various pieces. No cups. I see saucers, but no cups. Little dessert plates. $12.99 for 17 pieces. I think I'll pass on that. It's pretty, but I'd like the condition to be better, and if I bought these, it would really just be for replacement purposes. And that's kind of the same thing. I did see some blue willow over here. Not bad for 22 pieces, $7.99. But once again, various pieces, a lot of saucers, a few dessert bowls, a couple of plates, but I have to be really careful and remind myself I am not in the quote-unquote replacements business, and I really don't want to start buying a superfluous amount of various dishes. I just don't have the time or the storage, so someone else will discover them. I'm sorry, I guess my camera is a little crooked. Now let's see what else. Take a look at these two handsome glass bake, which was McKee, of course, glass serving dishes, baking dishes. I haven't seen this particular shape before. It's an oval shape, wider at the top. You can see it tapers as it goes down. Really neat handles. I like the stylized sort of deco look to this. One of them is priced $4.99, and I think the other one is $5.99. I think they might have had lids, since this is oven glass, and I can feel a little bit of an inner lip here. So I'm not certain, but I think we might be missing lids on these. I think I'll just leave them, maybe take a chance and see if they're here when we get to the half price day, but they're okay. I'll tell you, if they had lids, woo, I would lose my lid. That's nice.
It's a rainy day. Share my umbrella?
Well, yes, but say, you're not the kind of fella who'd ask me over to his apartment just to look at the pictures.
Well, it's a rainy day. A rainy day? We can't go walking.
I know, but we can stand here talking. But then I'm hoarse.
And you've forgotten your goulashes.
Gee, it's a rainy day.
Honey, would a drink do you good? Yeah, I think that it would, somehow. I vow.
Well, may I ask for a sip? Got a flask on your hip right now?
Well, not now, but here comes a cab. Come on, let's grab it.
Well, I don't trust men who have that habit.
Well, you really might get double pneumonia.
Gee, it's a rainy day.
A rainy day? You know, I'm really glad I met you.
A rainy day, I won't forget you.
Gee, you know, it's nice that we can both be sharing this taxi.
It's such a rainy day.
Well, then why don't you come on and stop being formal?
Oh, no, take it easy now. Get right back to normal. Or else, you know, you'll be the only one in this taxi.
Yeah, well, it's still a rainy day. What I sought long in vain, I have caught in the rain today. Yes, it looks like it's my day.
Do I look like a fish? Well, I'm hooked and I wish to
Oh,
say.
my goodness. See?
Oh,
Look at what your boy
That's
goes
it.
through
Now I'll
to get
take
this
you home.
stuff. The parking lot is
But not to
flooded.
your home.
Oh,
Well, it always
do you
floods
think
around
I'll
this
feel
part
at
when we get
home
heavy
in
rains.
your home?
Ooh, wait a minute.
Absolutely,
Oh,
and then
my
we'll
word.
begin where we
Oh.
leave off in
Oh,
this
this is
taxi.
terrible.
All on a rainy day.
Is that okay, honey?
Okay.
Driver, take us to the YMCA.
Just a minute.
Pink depression glass console bowl with rolled edges. Just in time for Easter. It's lovely. It's not etched, so I like the simplicity of that. And of course, I love the way they hover over the table. Would have come with matching candlesticks. This dates to approximately 1930, give or take. 5 years on either end of that. On either side of it, rather. 1 is good. 2 is better. And you know, in many cases, whatever the value of 1 might be, it's more than double when you add a second one, a matching piece. Anyway, I don't think these have any marks on the bottom, but I'm sure getting a Royal Hager feel to it. Some of these had, yep, nothing on that. Hager used a lot of paper labels, didn't they? Foil, stickers, and that kind of thing. I don't know that it is Hager, I'm just saying. I think it's one of the USA pottery companies. Love that mid-century color. And 2 great big classic urns. Planters for the fireplace mantle. So with that, oh, for Pete's sake. This reminds me of a glass pattern. Do I want to say that the pattern was called New Century by Heisey? Forget that I... Okay, I'm going home. I've had it. I really don't know that that's what I'm thinking of. This is made in England and it's dinnerware, earthenware, pottery. It's such a classic sort of very modern 1930s pattern. And all it says, I haven't looked anything up. It says the Barretts, Biarritz, Royal Staffordshire, England, and then some numbers and things. I can look it up, and I will. I'll go study it. But here is like a vegetable serving bowl and then a serving platter. Very modern, very 1930s. There's no damage on it. What am I going to do with just these 2 pieces? I don't know, and I don't know that this is very easily found outside of the United Kingdom. I've done no looking at all. But there were a couple of companies in the USA that made glass, and I'm going to have to look because for some reason in my mind, I'm thinking of a pattern called either New Century or something like that by Heisey in glass, which reminds me of this particular shape. But this is so deco, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Now, I almost flipped my lid when I found this. Even though it's got damage, I bought it anyway, which is somewhat unusual for me to see damage and then to go ahead and buy something with the damage. When am I ever going to find another lobster-themed lusterware set? Ooh. It's got the Made in Japan mark on the back. I would love to try to get... Can I do this without doing any... I don't know. I'm probably... Let's just give it a whirl. Now, there's a chip on the side of this. I'll show it to you. I'll take a chip over a crack. And especially in this case, this little tiny chip can be repaired. you'll see it. And I don't like that it's there, but because this, I can't get this off. Let me come right back. I'm going to get this off and then we'll be right back. You've got to see it. Okay, here we go. Now, because this is so hard to find, at least I believe that it's very difficult to find, I had to purchase it. Let's just go ahead and get this damage out of the way. On the underplate, we have a chip right there. All right. You can see from the back. Now, leave it the way that it is, or it could be repaired and it wouldn't be so noticeable. There's no way I was not going to buy this. There's the Japan mark on the back from the 30s. So the matching underplate and the lusterware bowl here. Good grief. Can you imagine, like, putting hot butter in this, melted butter in here, and having little bits of lobster all around the outside, or maybe even shrimp cocktail, and putting your cocktail sauce in here? You know, there's endless possibilities to serve seafood out of this. But you know, Japanese lusterware as a general rule doesn't have a lot of value. But I've got a hunch that this is going to be difficult to find, and that's the reason why I was thrilled, even with that little chip in there. So we'll just let you go ahead. Typical orange on that side, or marigold color. And then these wonderful, are these lobsters? I think these lobsters are painted on there and not decals, but I can't totally be sure of that. You know you would have, and of course I paid like $5 for it. You know you would have gotten this, even with that little chip in it. So this is the prize of the day in terms of something that I just never, ever, ever see. Okay, let's keep shopping. Oh, it's freezing, good folk, and I mean freezing. Yeah, below 32 degrees. Woo! I can't believe we're going to be digging in the Easter basket next weekend, or the weekend after that. Anyway. Well, I always seem to find something wooden to flip out over, and I'm flipping out. Here are 4 antique solid oak kitchen chairs, circa 1910, something like that. 1890s to 1925. Remember, oak sort of lingered in the kitchen for a while when it became out of style in the front parlor. But anyway, the condition is wonderful. There's nothing broken or missing. All the stretchers, all the spindles are there. You have splits down the center which can be repaired easily, or leave it the way it is. Just don't pinch your hiney. And all 4 of these chairs, it's $11.99 for all 4 chairs. I'm telling you, my good folk, I have got to get myself back into a shop because these would go in the truck. Oh, well, how do you know they're antique? Because I know. And let's turn one upside down. We might find one of the giveaways. Look at see this hardware here in brass? Okay, that's old. That's either someone put that on there afterwards to tighten these up a little bit, or it might be original. These don't look like they were ever painted and then stripped. You see this inner layer here? Anyway, let's see. Let's get this one turned upside down. Oh, I do see a label. A lot of times there are paper labels on these, and I see the remnants of one. Let's get in there, and we've got Blanchard and Son. That's a label I'm not familiar with, but you can clearly see that label is easily 100 years old. Let's see if any of the others have labels. Maybe there's a little bit more to the Blanchard and Sons. I just can't. I have to sit down. 4 chairs for $11. Antique oak. Someone's gonna snag them. Ouch. Try that with your pantyhose. Yeah, somebody is gonna jump on these. Okay, now that one doesn't have any label on the bottom. It fell off. So we're gonna be able to Google and find out where Blanchard and Sons was. Probably not in business anymore. Get these back. Can't you see these in it with one of those great big old round kitchen tables with the extension leaves, or one of the square ones? Okay. Yes, I'm thrilled. But there they are. Come and get them. I can't take them with me. Hello, 1940s chairs. Okay, you shall wait no longer. Of course it's Heisey glass. Now, at the very beginning of this video, I asked you what you thought and told you I'd tell you later. Well, I'm telling you now, it's Heisey glass. What a fascinating company. They closed their doors in around Christmas of 1957, never to return again. And so Heisey, after 1957, that's it. Heisey, German immigrant, gets together with one of the Duncans of Duncan Miller, yeah. And then with that whole U.S. glass comes together to save all the glass companies, and Heisey becomes either the general director or managing director or something or other. It's really fun to read if you want to go and look all that up. Anyway, around 1900, might be 1900, Heisey came out with his H in a diamond trademark and sold his glass as American Crystal. Now, I paid $6 each. The other candlestick is back there. No chips, no cracks. Absolutely beautiful, stunning glass. We know this was made sometime between 1900 and 1957. Now, the thing with Heisey, all right, it's usually marked, but it isn't always marked. Right. Now, they would put their H's in very strange places. And sometimes I actually owned a piece of Heisey glass that was marked 3 times. It had 3 trademarks on it. This isn't where you would normally think to look. Look at it first before you just go turning everything upside down. Start to train your eye. That is crystal clear glass. Very well made. Feel it. Ooh, fire polished. No rough edges. Rough edges here, but not here. All right. So, very clear, brilliant glass. Ah, no mark on the bottom. Poo. No mark here. Poo. But the H in the diamond is actually hiding from us, and it's underneath. I don't know whether you're going to be able to. Let's try to get it in there. Look it, look it, look it. No, it's not doing it. Wait, give me a minute. Let me keep fiddling. It's right there. It's a little blurry for you. I can't quite capture it, but it's right. You might be able to catch a glimpse of it. There is the H inside of a diamond right there on the bowl of the candlestick, way up there. So when you see a nice piece of glass, really study it. You might have Heisey glass, which is top quality. I paid $6 each. What's the pair of candlesticks worth? Hey, $30, you know, something like that. Maybe a little bit more. I bought 4 plates. These are Depression era. I've never had them with black and gold, and I have a reason why I bought these 4. They're just little luncheon salad dessert plates. I'm going to pair these up with some other black glass that I've got at home that has black bases on the bottom. So 4 plates, I paid $2 each, and they do have polished bottoms here. Maker unknown, but Depression era. I bought 3 of these. Golly, I wish there were 4. Is it Morgantown? Is it Tiffin? I'm not sure, but it's good old Depression glass. Probably the kind of green that does not glow under a black light, doesn't bother me at all. I like the iridescence on the bowl. It's paper thin. It has a ribbed optic panel or design to it. And did I tell you that it's pearlescent, iridescent? Okay. 3. Okay, well, I got the 3 because I couldn't say no. I love me a piece of Noritake or made in Japan, and this just says made in Japan, not necessarily Noritake, but it's that Lotus Leaf. These were usually like dessert sets. There would have been a whole set of them. Here we just have one, but it's the lotus flower with some luster on the inside on top of its underpants, and it has a 1930s made in Japan mark on it. This could be used as a dessert set, but also as a mayonnaise set. You know, put a little spoon in there and give everybody a spoonful of Thousand Island dressing. Okay, it just keeps getting better and better. You don't need me to tell me. You've been watching me for years. You already know. It's antique. Well, not quite antique. Don't believe this was made before 1924. But it's close to it. It's old, early Pyrex. It's got that yellow tint. It's got that wonderful handle on the top. This is the first one I have found in a silver-plated caddy. Every other one I've ever found has been chrome-plated. This one has a silver plate. And look at how fancy that is. Very late 1920s. There's the old Pyrex mark on the bottom. And this probably dates between 1925 to the early 30s. That's Salada tea. Remember those commercials? Now, I hope the colors, this is sort of, well, I don't know what color you would call that, but you can tell me. The sun is washing it out. Isn't that cute? It has an S on the top, and on the bottom it says Salada tea, made in USA. I suppose you had to send in your used tea bags or box tops. Some American pottery company made this for the Salada Tea Company, who, I don't know, I'm going to have to dig around and see if I can figure it out. I don't stop and do internet researches while I'm in the stores, you know that. So, but probably an American, well, obviously an American pottery company who made this cute little thing. What's it worth? Oh, I don't know, not much, but it's got a date. That's got to be from the 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, but I think 40s, 50s, something like that. Okay, there's more. Let me turn the camera off so that you don't have to hear me digging through my bags. I'll be right back. For General Electric is this wonderful deco style mixing bowl, probably from the 1940s. If it had been older than that, we would expect to see it in custard or in green. I love the stepped sides here, and it is marked General Electric on the bottom. That's for one of those old mixers. Silver overlay. Look at the handle. It almost looks like a life preserver. Yeah. Look at the bottom of it. And now let's look at the silver overlay design. Almost a trellis with flowers. And that sticker is in the way of things. Let's try to get that off. Well, I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing off. I wanted you to have the nice effect, but we'll wait until we wash it. Anyway, look at the silver overlay design. You're not seeing it. There, now you're seeing it. Isn't that pretty? This is applied on this side. So a sort of a bowl shape here. And what would you put in there? Peanuts? I don't know what you would put in there. But black olives. That's nice. 1930, 1928, something like that. Now, are you ready, Miss Karen Williams? You're gonna blow a gasket when you see this. She happens to have an affinity for, or a love for, EAPG, and a lot of you do, but Karen has helped me out a lot with identifications, and many of you have. But as soon as I saw this, I thought, oh my goodness, let me take the price tag off of it. I'm getting all choked up. Once again, oh, and it's etched on the top. Acid etched. I don't know. But you know I'm going to get into my PG books. And a lot of you will look, oh, so there are others. And I don't mean, see, as soon as I mention a name, I leave other people out. Daniel. And then there's somebody else whose username is like UZ5L629. And I have no idea who you are. But you know you're glad. A lot of you are very helpful in the comments. And I never want you to think that I don't appreciate. I read everything, although I don't always get a chance to comment back. Many of you are very helpful, and you enjoy studying glass like I do. Look at that. It's got an acid etched top. Look at the decoration, and almost a pineapple effect down here at the bottom. You know, I did not, and I never expect these to be marked. But here we've got another turn of the century antique. That's 120 years old all day long, or very close to it. Maybe even a little bit more. 1890s, 1910, and another one of those salvers, S-A-L-V-E-R, pedestal cake stand. First time I've had one with, these look like maybe oak leaves, or maybe they're not. Maybe it's some type of I think they're oak leaves, etched on the top of it. So, okay, now let me rearrange everything, and I've got 5 or 6 more shops to explore. Thank you so much for joining me today on this shopping trip. I'm having a wonderful time, mostly because you're with me. All right, here we go. Next store. Let's go. Okay, get ready to jump up and down and do a little dance. Are you ready? Wow. I need to stop saying wow. But after the wow, after the laughter came tears. I knew it was damaged, but I couldn't say no. And what did I pay for it, even with damage? 8 doll hairs. All right, let's get rid of that for a minute. Is it Northwood? I think so. I didn't find the N on the bottom. You can see the damage there. But didn't Northwood do a lot of this custard glass with the gilding? So it may or may not be Northwood. A center bowl, it would have had candlesticks with it. I'm going to see if I can find the candlesticks. It's custard glass, and if it has a hint of green, it's because I'm out here, and the little bit of sunlight that we have today is letting you see that there's uranium in this, and it will glow like New Year's Eve at Walmart. Not that I would ever want to be in a Walmart on New Year's Eve. But anyway, center bowl. I'll see if I can find some candlesticks to match it. It's gilded here. This is, well, the repair ain't bad. That was broken off completely and re-glued. I'm going to try to get that. I don't care that you can see the glue on the bottom. I'm going to try to clean it so that you can't see as much as of the glue on the top. Thank goodness it was a pretty clean break. And someone did save the piece and glue this back on. Okay, so I'm gonna live with it. Will I sell it? I might. There'll be a pattern name to this. There will be a pattern name to this. It's just that as I said, I don't look things up normally when I'm out shopping. How old is it? It's antique. It's more than 100 years old, and it's absolutely delightful. So anyway, okay, anchor hocking, there's bubble in sapphire, cream and sugar, very collectible. People love that. Here is an EAPG. Ooh, now this one has a surprise. What I really like about this is the size of it. It's nice and small, EAPG vase, but it's the first one when I turn it upside down. I've never bought a piece before with this on the bottom, and it says deep cut. I know you can't see it, but that's what it says, deep cut. Thank you so much for joining me on my thrifting trip today. I had a really nice time and I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know in the comment section below which items are your favorites. And everything that you saw today will eventually be in a live sale or in the eBay store. So make sure you stay tuned to the Old Curiosity Shop so you don't miss a thing. Okay, my plans have changed. I'm heading into Philly tonight, so Miss Marple and the murder at the vicarage will have to wait until another day. But I think I remember how the story ends. All right, until later on, we'll see you then, right? Some other time. And for now, I'll say so long. Okay, I'll see you the next time. This is Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching, wait for the cat, and so long for now.